Circle of Friends is a group that started in, I think 3rd grade, and it's kids who like got picked to hang out with me.
Circle of Friends was a small group of typical students who were going to work together to help Micah be included in the normal everyday curriculum of a public school. And we set out by just meeting once a week and discussing what Micah was doing that week, what he was going to do the next week, if he needed help and where he needed help and who and how they would help him. And it actually evolved into where we weren't just a support group for Micah, we were a support group for each other.
I can't say I had any situations where a teacher didn't feel confident that they could have him in the class. And he had a paraprofessional, he had support, and that's a school staff person, but we also had a link program, and that's a program where students in the school would earn credit by providing support.
I met Oliver in my sophomore year of high school. He was a senior, I was a sophomore, and he just got picked to be a link student. He always says that he only has 4 friends that still call him, and I'm like one of the friends on his list.
Micah and Oliver would speak on the phone on a regular basis when he was in school, in college. Micah went up to visit him at college, and then most recently went to Chicago on his own. Took the plane from Detroit to Chicago, and Oliver picked him up at the airport, and they spent a number of days together. And Oliver is now a teacher who has a special education student in his classroom, as well as a great picture of Micah in his classroom.
When I gave Micah a senior picture, I said, "Hey, you have taught me so much, and you may not realize how much you've taught me, but you've taught me a ton." We're here today 4 or 5 years later, and Micah's in my classroom as I'm a teacher. We've remained friends throughout this time period. I went into this looking for easy credit, and I left it gaining a very close friend, a best friend. Mike and I are a product of what inclusive education is. I think we're a product of what it's meant to be. We're still friends, and Micah's friends with some people that I know still. Perhaps, I don't know, Micah, are you friends with anybody from that freshman science class?
No.
You're not, but you're friends with me still. And I think that's what it is right there, is this LINKS program, this inclusive education program worked, and the fact that I am Micah's friend now, and we can spend time together, we'll talk on the phone. Micah has taught me to love and accept everybody. He does that to every single person. I've never seen Micah not love somebody. He'll say hi. We were just walking through Target, and we're walking by somebody, and Micah says hi to him. And I noticed that, because I know that there's so many of my friends that would never do that, that would never say hi to somebody that they never knew. And Micah continues to do those things. And that challenges me to be friendly, to say hi, to love everybody I see.
You could say Oliver was one of my links, and then, I taught him about teaching, and then I think it's good. What do you think? We are still friends? I think that's a good one. We're looking over Micah's PowerPoint that he just presented in Oklahoma at their state conference for teachers and parents, and we're going to review it for the presentation that he's doing tomorrow at Eastern Michigan University, to see if it fits, to see if there's anything that we take out or add.
We're having other people part of the presentation tomorrow. A teacher from high school, a professor from the university, a person of his peer who is was part of the Circle of Friends, and a sister.
Can I just tell you something like that?
not to change your mind about going to Claire's bar mitzvah, but for her for the candle song.
Yeah.
You know, she was debating between our life is more than our work for our family, and people like you help people like me go on.
Okay. I don't know.
That means you have to help with the video for her, so you're there. Just like I had to do that for your graduation, you have to do that. Oh yeah.
In middle school, I didn't want to do things with Mike, and I wanted to be more separate, and I didn't I would make sure I'd go over to my friend's house as opposed to them coming here. So there were parts like that, but now, like my parents were gone the other night, and Micah had to tell me when I had to take a break from my homework, and we went out and played basketball. In the beginning, he was a little looking all over the place and didn't really want to be playing basketball. And then I kind of give him this, you're my older brother, you have to push me around. You got to make some baskets. Who am I going to look up to if you don't make the baskets? So it pushes him to try harder. And then I get the outcome of the older brother that I want, and we have a lot of fun.
Don't forget to.
I'm trying to think how to pump up the group.
You're trying to think about how to pump up the group. Okay, what could you do?
Say, it's too early in the morning.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Micah. It's a Saturday morning. I would rather sleep in.
That's great. Do you think everybody can relate to that?
Yes.
I think so too. That's very good.
Hi, I'm Micah. Call the workshop for 12 next time.
That's great.
In first grade, I told my parents I wanted to go on the same trip as my friends, and that started me being with my friends and my peers. One community that excludes one person is not a community at all. Dream big, and call me. I'm kind of hectic with till May or something. But call me, and I'll check my calendar. And thank you. And I was happy to try to get up at 6, but could next year be have it at 12 o'clock?
Never made much money. I live my life on hold. The moment that I met you, honey, I struck gold.
Low down and ejected, my dreams were bought and sold. When I least suspected, honey, I struck gold.
Everybody knows you're my magic carpet. You're my Midas touch. You're the one I count on in the clutch. You mean so much. When the good Lord made you, He must have broke the mold. I'd be a fool to trade you, honey. I struck gold.
Ring around my collar, my shoes are getting old. Bet your bottom dollar, honey, I struck gold.
Some people want to tell you all the answers. They talk too long and loud. Whether we're alone or in a crowd, you make me so proud. Nights kept getting longer,
Days kept getting cold.
now I'm getting stronger, honey. I struck gold. I want to tell you that I struck gold. Everybody knows I struck gold.